Captain's Log Supplemental. I'm helping my son with his Star Scouts remote control relay race ship. We got the starter kit, finished the bodywork on the ship, and then began work on propulsion. It comes with a standard remote control hover motor, but I decided that we could rev this puppy up a bit. I borrowed some components from engineering, specifically one of the hover cores from a hover cart. I also put it in some other relays to help with the power differences. I had to go through some testing for it because when we first fired it up, it nearly crashed into the cargo bay ceiling with all the extra power it had. He's going to have to be careful with it in the race, or he might shatter the other racers' crafts if he nudges them too hard.
Welcome back, everybody, to another week of Captain's Log Supplemental. My name is Rob. I am joined by my co-hosts, Chris.
Hello.
And Stanford.
Howdy.
As well as our producer, Mariah.
Hi there.
For the uninitiated, Captain's Log Supplemental is a Star Trek rewatch podcast. Each week we are marching ahead by star date. Still in Enterprise, although getting very close to the end now. I think we are all relieved at this point.
Thank God. Yeah,
been a long
we're
road.
more than halfway through.
Yeah,
Been a long road getting from there to here. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's been a long time. But I think our time is finally here, boys.
Yeah, I might just touch the
That was
sky.
a good run. That was a good run. I like that.
Yeah, that was. Good job, everybody. So yeah, at the top and bottom, we usually like to just remind people, like, subscribe, recommend us to your friends, rate and review us on your podcast supplier of choice. It helps get the podcast out there. But anyway, how are you guys doing this week?
So, all right, I'm doing well. Although we are literally just getting over like being sick, which kind of sucked. But I'm doing better today. I think I'll be almost 100% tomorrow.
Good.
But like I finished the last Brandon Sanderson book, right? And that motherfucker was like 62 hours long. Good book, great book, no notes, great book.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, now what do I want to listen to? So I started listening to our podcast, and hot take, it's pretty fucking good. Pretty good podcast. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good podcast. We the three of us and our lovely producer, we cut a good jib. Cut a good jib.
Nice. Yeah.
But something has come forward, and I apologize for putting this person on the spot. But because this is a scathing indictment.
But
Somebody doesn't care for the Fun Facts with Chris jingle.
Is it John?
Oh no, that person is in this channel right now.
It got a little old.
damn.
Right?
It was
Cool.
fun. It was a fun little thing
Because I hit the episode
that you don't need to keep doing.
I hit the episode where we came up with it, and I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. Like, oh, wow, that's a funny fucking thing. And she's like, yeah, it was funny. And I was like, oh, shit.
Damn. Oh man.
Oh.
I mean, whew, that's that's a very wife thing to say, by the way.
Wow.
Now,
So
I am the... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you lean into it like we did with the
Right,
Hello
so
John thing?
I was going to say, like, I am the kind of man who has enough self-respect and confidence to admit that I am now going to absolutely do it more. So,
Oh, yeah.
like,
100%.
it's really her fault for saying anything at this point.
So anyway, dear listeners,
When you lose all your listeners, you'll know why. So.
All our ones of listeners.
I was just going to ask, like, so anyway, dear listeners, we'll be recruiting a new producer shortly, and
Oh, I appreciate that I'm not getting kicked off.
I'm not watching these episodes.
Shoot.
Although I did just finish watching all of the Kelvin timeline movies.
Yeah, she literally, that second time we died to the wolf boss in Poe 2 because we suck,
yeah,
she had literally just finished watching the third Kelvin movie again.
nice.
They're fun movies. That's a good time.
They're pretty
They're
good.
fun.
Although I realize, like, I'm good. I don't need to watch them again.
It's something I like to put on. I don't have to think about. I got 3 of them, so
Mhm.
I don't have to like, what am I watching tonight? Oh, I'm still working on like I had done the Lord of the Rings, and I was like, well, let me do Star Trek.
So
Yeah,
do you do shows too, or you like if you're watching TV, is it usually like a movie?
I'm usually, if I rewatch something, it's movies. I have, I'm still watching Grey's Anatomy, and I need breaks because that show is going on forever. So I'll
It
go to
has
that.
all of the drama at all times.
Yeah. So, if I'm watching a show, it's either with Matthew because we're like watching Dune together, or I'm watching Grey's Anatomy.
We watched last night though. We watched Sphere. Have either of you seen this movie?
Nope.
nope.
All right. Don't.
That,
It's
that
not-
good, huh?
It's not good. First of all, okay. Let me just say this because no one listens to us anyways. Michael Crichton is a hack. And like I knew that, right? Like I knew that. I know he had Jurassic Park and that was like his one good moment. Fine. Every broken clock, even a blind squirrel finds its nuts once in a while. It's fine.
Does John like Michael Crichton?
I don't think I know he likes Jurassic Park. I don't think he's otherwise a Michael Crichton fan. But anyways, I've read several Michael Crichton books. They're all stupid. Michael Crichton's a fucking hack. But like, boy, this movie was really stupid. Like, it was really stupid. And like, it had like Dustin Hoffman in it and shit. It's like some real late 90s casting. And
What's
it
the
was
premise?
what's the premise? They found a spaceship in the ocean that's been buried there for 300 years.
Was it a sphere?
Well, no, the sphere was on the spaceship. Okay? Because they go inside the spaceship and they're like, hey, it's weird that all of the signs in this alien 300-year-old spaceship are like in English. And it turns out it's a human spaceship from Earth from the year in the distant future of 2042.
Man, we got some work to do.
Yeah, because the spaceship was like a half a mile long. It's like, wow.
Oh, God.
Fuck, we're gonna be fucking doing great in 2042. And then but it turns out this spaceship found a sphere thing and then fell in a black hole and then ended up back in the past. And the sphere, okay, so you know how when you dream stuff isn't real? The sphere makes it real now. That's the whole fucking reveal. Spoiler
It allows
alert.
you to manifest.
So the lesson is that no matter how smart you are, all you end up manifesting are your biggest fears. So basically it was just like Dustin Hoffman and Samuel L. Jackson being scared of a giant squid for an hour and a half. And then they decided that the best solution to this problem was to manifest them forgetting about the sphere, and so they forgot about it. So
That sounds great.
you know how stupid that sounds? It was worse somehow.
Queen Latifah was in it.
Queen Latifah was in it. She had like a big
Man,
role.
that is a 90s ass cast.
Oh yeah. It had that dude who played Sabretooth in the Wolverine Origins movie.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
God. So, would you say that was better or worse than Rebel Moon?
I would say it was worse because at least Rebel Moon was a novelty.
Rob, I actually thought about when I was like, what should I rewatch? Because again, when I'm knitting or crocheting, I like to rewatch something because I don't have to look. I don't have to pay attention. But if
Yeah.
I want to, I can look up. I thought about putting Rebel Moon on.
Oh God.
Dude, it's funny. Rebel Moon is bad in the way that direct to sci-fi movie releases
Oh, yeah.
were.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah.
But if it's on TV, I'll watch it.
Right.
I'll have it on in the background while I'm
Right,
doing
just leave it
something
on
else.
while
Yeah,
you're doing
fuck
something
yeah.
else or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's endearing in the same way that Waterworld is endearing.
It's
No,
better. It's
Waterworld is
probably better.
objectively a good movie.
You are
Probably better if
You are
you
wrong.
don't pay
You
attention to
You
Rebel
should
Moon.
watch it. So I watched it again relatively recently with Mariah. You should watch it again, Rob. It's better than you remember.
So I think it's overall an enjoyable movie. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's a good movie.
Look. All I can say is it is objectively better than all three of the original Mad Max movies.
I was about to say, Matthew, you have to give them the context. First, they have to watch all of the Mad Max movies and then watch Waterworld, and you'll see how much better it
It
is.
was so much better. So much better.
all right. Well,
You know what else is better than Mad Max? No, actually, I'm not sure that's true.
I mean, this week's episode is better than Mad Max.
I will be ready to accept your opinion on that.
All right. So yeah, this week's episode was season 4, episode 14. The Aenar, which I just learned today is pronounced Enar and not Aenar.
No, that's Aenar. Fuck those people.
Yeah, they should have spelled it different.
If they wanted it to be Enar, it could have started with an I or a couple of E's or even just an E, but you got that AE at the front. That's A. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
like
A. Yeah.
Is this like a GIF versus GIF conversation?
I mean, probably, but still no.
We're all GIF people, right?
I am, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
Mariah.
I do what I'm told.
I just work here.
Yeah, so we opened this week's episode with some Romulans and Remans scheming in front of a very tiny window.
Man, my first note is, did his forehead get bigger?
No, his chin might have, though.
Oh, dude, it really did. Yeah, so Drone Captain Chad here is getting chewed out by some politician that has thrown his support behind him and his drone idea. But Drone Captain Chad, proposes the idea, well, if at first you don't succeed, send 2 drones instead of just 1.
I mean, I can't find any flaws in the logic.
Nope. Cue Faith of the Heart.
The guy's like, we gotta destroy the Enterprise in order to destroy, destabilize the region's politics. And I'm like, I gotta be honest, the Enterprise doesn't feel all that hard to destroy. Like, I think you could knock that out in an afternoon if you really put your mind to it.
I know. Frankly, at this point, with how many beatings that ship has taken, I'm surprised it's still held together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we come back to a conversation at Archer's captain's dinner table. We find out that Tran is sticking around on Enterprise for a little while to help find the Marauder ships. Apparently the Andorians have tooled around with some drone tech in the past, but dumped the idea after they found no merit in it for some reason.
Oh, we all acknowledge that the backlit conference room table is stupid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very melodramatic.
It's like the whole room is dark except for the light coming from the surface of the table. It looks like the table is designed to give them that, like, you know how when you do campfire stories, you put the flashlight under your face?
Yeah.
Like, that's the lighting this table is providing everyone around this conference room.
Yeah, like, I know it I don't think it existed at this point. No, it didn't, because, like, YouTube wasn't even really a thing at that point. It reminds me of the, like, very dramatic lighting that a lot of, like, Twitch streamers will try to do.
Oh,
they just put, like, LED strips behind everything.
Some RGBs and shit. Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have it. It's like, haha, Shred's antenna looks dumb.
Yeah, that too. For a little, like, it's got like a little gauze bandage wrapped around it. T'Pol reveals that a telepath is directing the drone, and Phlox, after analyzing the pilot's brainwave, has come to the realization that they seem to be Andorian, but not quite. We cut back to the Romulan engineer scientist guy being worried about their drone pilot's mental health, which apparently this is the only Romulan on this entire planet that actually cares about other beings, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, he's not good at scheming. That's why he's not in charge.
Yeah, that's why he's a scientist.
Yeah, whereas Cro-Magnon fucking Romulan here is like, fuck that albino. Fuck him.
Yeah, he's like, stim him up and sit him in his chair, or was, I think, the instructions given to the scientist.
I need him to be alive long enough to destroy the Enterprise.
Yep. Tran, meanwhile, visits Archer, fills him in on the Aenar. They're blind ice waste dwellers that live in, like, self-imposed hermitage?
Hermitage?
Is it hermitage? I guess it would be hermitage.
I guess so.
Isolation.
Like, that's the name.
Exile?
Yeah, they live in self-isolation. Here's where I noted that it's very hard to take him serious with the missing antenna.
Yeah. I, like, maybe this is just me, but, like, it probably is. Are a lot of, like, throwaway one episode races in this show, and not just this show, but like all Star Trek's, like, pacifist? It feels like it's a thing.
I feel
it's
like
a bit of a trope.
Yeah,
they're either pacifist or very warlike. There's not.
Oh yeah, or slavers. Yeah, like those are their two. There's no in between. The in between is humans. Like that's it. Yeah.
I think that might be a like a byproduct of the episodic nature of Star Trek, where like you have to give people a shtick and they have to want that bad.
But wasn't
like
that
that's
enough
a
of a
defining
shtick?
feature?
Like they're telepathic, blind, and they live in the fucking glacier. Do they need another trait? Is it like they need one more?
Yeah, listen, there's a checklist. You have to go with skin color.
Oh, that's right. They're white too.
Almost human appendages, and then the last one is ideology, like political ideology. Got to hit all three.
I feel like by the end of this show, we can make like a random table of like build your alien species, build your and one of the columns is like dramatic element.
Yeah, we can get it set up on randomnamegenerator.com. So yeah, Archer, after hearing about the Aenar, tells Travis to head for a. Okay, so here's something weird that I found out while researching this show. Do you know what the name of the planet that the Andorians hail from is called?
I don't remember. Andoria is the name of the
system. It's not Andoria,
system,
right?
Because it's a moon.
It can be either Andoria or Andor.
Andor, like that awesome Star Wars show?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Either one works, apparently.
Interesting.
I don't like that. So I'm going to call it Andoria because I like that more. Yeah, Trip and T'Pol have a moment in sickbay. Trip is installing the new telepathy bed that Archer ordered.
It's the telepresence machine because they had to come up with a dumb name for it.
I'm sorry. It was like halfway through this episode where I'm like, wait a minute, why are they building this fucking thing? Like, what the fuck? Because like,
it comes from Space IKEA. They have directions.
Can't they just like interrupt the telemetric signals with a regular signal? Why do they need their own fucking telepath guy?
Because this is way cooler.
This whole thing was stupid. I'm sorry. The whole we need our own telepath chair. It was stupid, especially because it also had to be like gyroscopic 4D experience for the fucking telepath inside of
widening the scope. I think the whole idea of needing a telepath to remotely control a ship is a bit weird.
That's also dumb. Yes.
Like, just make a crew and then just control it remotely. Why do we need a telepath to do this?
It's very important. At this point, we start getting into this week's B plot, which is T'Pol and Trip. T'Pol is very worried that he needs more rest, but Trip just keeps pushing through, even though he just, finished getting thrown around in a weird space drone through all of last week's episode.
I like Trip's like, hey, you know how we almost died last week? Hey, when you were about to die, did you think of me? Like, was that what you thinking of? I was thinking of you.
She's like, no, I thought about
how to fix our fucking problem, dipshit.
Yeah. So yeah, we get to Andoria. Archer and Shran head down to the surface to Malcolm's complaints. They are fortunately they've arrived during the summer, so it's a balmy 28 below zero.
Man, the world builders on Enterprise are so fucking dumb. Because it's supposed to be like the Andorians are adapted to living on this cold planet. It's like, yeah, but they evolved there. That makes sense. Great. But it's also we have cities that are underground. I didn't see the sun till I was 15. What? Do you like living on the cold planet or not? What are we doing?
I mean, you could still like living on the cold planet if it's all you know.
But they're not, if they have to live underground where it's warm, then they're not adapted to living on the cold planet. They just avoid it. Yeah,
I agree. I did find it, because they definitely had two conflicting sentiments from characters.
Yeah.
It's this cold is the best, but also
but also it's real dangerous. Don't be cold. Ooh.
The one Aenar girl is if only I could be warm.
Yeah. Shran, like Stanford was mentioning, explains that most Andorian cities are built underground to take advantage of geothermal energy. Shran, meanwhile, still having balance issues due to his missing antenna.
He eats shit so hard.
Yeah. Captain Chad tells his scientist buddy that all Romulans are warriors, because again, everyone has to be the same thing in Star Trek races and species.
Yes, and the Romulans are Marines.
Yeah. To accentuate his point here, he tells a story about how he got kicked out of the Senate for questioning the unending expansion of the Romulan Empire.
What was the moral of that story?
The moral of that story
get in
was
line.
that he was shut up. That's what it was.
Like, what did he gain from that? Like, is he saying that, like, I don't understand. Was he in favor of the unending conquest or not in favor of the unending
I don't know,
conquest?
because it seemed like the moral was supposed to be like, I got in trouble for not being okay with this clearly stupid policy, but like, that's dumb. But yet that doesn't support his position of, so anyways, blindly follow the stupid order I'm giving you. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's, I got yelled at for this, and I understand that it was dumb I got yelled at, but also I'm going to yell at you.
Oh, yes, that's the moral. The moral is shit rolls downhill. That's
what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, back in the ice caves, Shran shows Archer some Andorian ice worm chemical boreholes. So they just melt the ice with heated chemicals, some sort of chemical reaction. I don't know. It was kind of cool.
They're tiny remorazes, yeah.
Yeah. Shran questions Archer's hesitation of going down a very steep slide after he expresses some concern about Shran's balancing abilities. Then proceeds to throw himself onto a conveniently placed ice stalagmite.
He fucking throws himself down these stairs.
Fucking somersaulted.
Jeffrey Combs is a lot of things. I don't think a physical actor is one of them.
Oh my god, he's like, whoa, I'm losing my balance. Oh, better do a somersault.
Yeah.
I was
Down
waiting
these
for
stairs.
that cartoon, like, whoop, 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 whoop sound.
There were no banana peels here. So yeah, he lands directly on an ice stalagmite, which impales him through the leg. And,
It doesn't just
now-
like a
now
little
Shran's
bit.
out.
Like, holy
But it's
fuck. It goes like through the middle of his thigh. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't have a femur anymore.
Nope.
Yeah. No, it's fine. He will just on his own.
Yeah, I don't know what Trent is
de-impale his
proving
leg.
and to whom, but yeah, he's like, don't touch me. I'm gonna do it myself.
Don't touch me. Yeah.
But also, probably, because strictly medically speaking, probably not the best idea to unimpale yourself right then.
Well, the icicle cauterized the wound because that's how Andorians work, probably.
Oh, man.
Okay.
No, they should have found some of the little ice worms and just have it like go through his leg hole, and then it'll cauterize it with the heat chemicals.
That's gross.
That sounds like a Phlox idea right there.
That would be,
Oh, yeah.
Archer did say that Phlox would want some of these hot worms, so.
Yeah, so while they're taking in the reality of their situation, not knowing where they are, being stuck in some cave mines, not even knowing how to get to the Aenar. Fortunately, an Aenar just pokes her head out from around the corner, and Shran notices her, points her out to Archer. And they're willing to lend Shran some medical aid. Back in sickbay, Trip announces that despite his lack of telepathy or any real credentials around using the telepathy bed, he wants to take it for the test drive.
He's like, I want to try this thing. You're not telepathic. Yeah, that don't matter. I'm going to try it anyways.
So T'Pol says no, that she will be the one to do it because she actually has at least minor telepathic ability. And Trip is upset because she's the commanding officer and doesn't want her to incapacitate herself. By the way, he's still in love with her.
Yeah, I don't know. This B-plot did not go well. Like, Trip just kind of came off as a petulant little bitch the whole time, and it was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was, I felt like it could have been handled better.
And like there was, again, I feel like these two actors lost all of their chemistry somewhere in the transition between season 3 and season 4.
I feel like this was like we don't actually have a B plot, so let's go back to that well. Let's do the will they won't they trip to Paul.
Well, like, I really thought after the whole like, hey, T'Pol's getting married thing, that it was kind of already over.
Right.
Because Trip was like, oh, well, I came to realize that, T'Pol is her own woman. Like, she has these familial obligations that she has to do. Like, I'm just going to move on after our fling that we had there for a while. And then it doesn't get brought up again until tonight, and then all of a sudden it's a thing again. I don't know, it just felt very weird.
Right.
I mean, they're talking about it a couple times, but yeah, it just seems forced.
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to re-resolve it, I guess. Like, I feel like it was already resolved, and then they're going to do it again.
Yeah. Back on Andoria, Jesus. The Aenar gets Shran all fixed up. One of their leaders pokes their head into the medical facility and meets with Archer.
It was a cool CGI city, by the way, on the intro to this.
I don't disagree that it looks neat. Although my note is this seems like a terribly inefficient use of underground space because there's a lot of like random just blank air in there. You'd think you'd be more clustered around like the walls and shit.
Yeah, you got to keep the warm air in.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the leaders meets with Archer, offers to communicate with him telepathically because apparently that's the only way that she can trust him.
Shred's like, don't let her in your head, man, motherfucker.
Hey, I just appreciate that we got to skip the normal exposition. Just I understand now.
Yeah,
that is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so Shran is like shaking his like, don't do it. And Archer's like, I'm gonna do it. So she sees in his mind, which apparently has many facets that they're all not agreeing with each other, which Shran is not surprised about. She sees that the drone pilot was indeed Aenar and is disturbed by this revelation. Like, I guess she was still hoping that it wasn't true. She reveals that it's likely one of their own that was abducted while collecting some of those worms outside of the city, and goes to consult with the other Aenar. Back on Enterprise, Trip hits up the mess hall.
My note for that scene was like, wow, that went pretty well. Shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's funny because I feel like every time we see an interaction with a new alien species in Enterprise, it's always been antagonistic.
Yeah,
this 100%. Is like, this is like the first time where it didn't happen.
They're pacifists. That's why.
That's right.
It's important.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
The last time that it probably started off well was Cogenitor. And we all know how that ended up.
We do.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Trip goes to get some coffee and runs into T'Pol on his way back to work. Ensures her that his concerns are definitely 100% purely professional, not still in love with her.
Useless scene.
Yeah.
Dumb scene. Worthless scene.
The young Aenar that originally spotted Shran and Archer in the caves comes back to the medical bay to see Shran. She's fascinated with him, calls him Blueskin, which is funny.
Some weird flirty energy going on.
Oh, Shran is so gonna fuck this Aenar. Oh, I was gonna say so hard. Oh my god.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to become a thing.
Shran is rebounding from his grief of losing his last mate on this Aenar immediately.
Didn't even give it a week. Jesus.
She's not even warm yet, and he's going to fuck this cold bitch. Like, oh my god.
Speaking of his prior mate, this Aenar admits to accidentally reading Shran's thoughts about his recent history. And is very sad about him losing, was it Talia or Talus? I can't remember her name.
Talus, I think.
Talus, yeah. We find out that the missing Aenar has a name, Garib, and that it is her brother. And she's very worried about his well-being. We then, very dramatically, cut back to Romulus. That scientist asks for forgiveness before just injecting poor Garib with some stimulants to get him up and running again. And they're getting ready to launch those new drones. Phlox, meanwhile, has started testing the telepathy table on T'Pol. Things immediately, well, I guess not immediately, but very quickly start to go horribly wrong. They mentioned something about T'Pol's synapses. I don't know. That seems bad, though. So yeah, they stopped the test. But the good news, I guess, is that the table did work. Just she couldn't really handle it well. The Romulans send the two new drones out into space on Captain Chad's orders. Garib's sister, meanwhile, joins Archer and Shran as they decide to leave the Aenar settlement and keeps them from getting burned by a worm swarm.
Didn't care for the hot worm
My-
imagery.
My note here is, ew, hot penis worms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not great.
No, they reminded me too much of maggots, and I did not like that.
Coming out of the holes and stuff, just
And a little, I don't know,
Yeah.
but a little less white and more flesh colored in like a penile
Yeah.
kind of way. Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
phallic. Yeah.
Yeah, so she announces her intent to join them on their mission to rescue her brother because she feels obligated to save him. Phlox has a funny little moment where he takes Trip aside and basically insists that he let her do her job despite his concerns. He has picked up on Trip's feelings again and has a heart-to-heart with Trip, basically telling him, like, yeah, I know this sucks, but, like, she's a professional and you need to let her do her job.
She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
If Phlox is like, sorry, kiddo, there's no cure for being turned on by your coworker. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You have to figure that shit out.
Yep. We find out that Archer and Shran's new companion has a name. Her name is Jamel, who realizes that the other Aenar are actually keeping them from finding the surface. They keep them going around in circles with their telepathy.
What was the point of this scene? Just like, it was just like, because they show, the one lady shows up, he's like, you're betraying our people, and then they mind like, and they're like, oh, never mind. Bye.
It's like, oh, it's like, no, but I want to. It's like, do you want to? It's like, yeah, read my brain. I've read your brain. I guess this is what you want to do. Go, good luck. Like,
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was very funny.
Did
The
you
best
not
part
have
about
this
this is,
conversation
like-
before you left?
The best part about this was, like, this had to be the smallest circle ever because she just opens up the door behind
It's
her.
right there. It's right
Yeah.
fucking there.
Right back
It's right there. Yeah. So the three of them do make it back to Enterprise. Jamel hops into the telepathy table in the ball.
Strap that white bitch in. Here we go.
Yep. And she weirdly seems to be enjoying the experience in the chair in an uncomfortable way. It was very strange.
This is where it turns into this weird 4D experience because she has to it's like try pivoting and like the whole chair turns. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, and apparently the chair turning is enough to send her into a seizure.
Yeah.
So,
it's very, very disconcerting.
Steve's chair didn't turn like that.
Yes, it did.
No. It didn't pivot. It just
that's
rotated.
right. Yeah. His didn't roll. His just
That's too many
yawed.
planes of movement. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Too many axes.
Yep.
So yeah, she's doing fine until they start the second test. She has a seizure and they, unplug everything and Phlox us to start looking after her. Enterprise, meanwhile, comes upon the wreckage of a ship called the Ticonderoga. Shran keeps Jamel company in sickbay and sort of like waits by her side, well, really at the foot of her bed, and just watches her, like a
she
totally
did to
normal
him.
person would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She eventually wakes up and they have a touching question mark moment about
just
being strong in the
more-
face of danger.
More flirty energy going on.
Yes. Yeah.
There's so much Andorian action happening in that sickbay later.
So yeah, Enterprise comes upon a suspicious Tellarite freighter, and Archer puts them in tactical alert. They target the freighter's engines, and everybody's like, "What if it's not a freighter, Captain?" And he's like, "Shoot him anyway."
Or
And,
what if it actually is a freighter? Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, it is not. After taking some damage, the drone's holographic disguise drops.
I guess, I don't understand why the drone came in as a Tellarite freighter.
Right,
then.
yeah. Like, who were they surprising at this point?
Who were they fooling?
Yeah, I don't know. Jamel, meanwhile, feels her brother's psyche from the drone and just
that
immediately
tracks.
wants to get back in the chair. Phlox tries to stop her. Shran insists that they let her try.
Shred's like, if she wants to have a seizure, let her. What the fuck's the problem? I don't understand.
Yeah. She enjoyed it so much the first time. the second drone rather, gets sent to join in the fight against Enterprise now that the first one is, revealed. Jamel, now back into the chair, reaches out to Garib telepathically so that they can speak once more as brother and sister.
Man, these psychedelic close-up conversations were fucking stupid. Like,
dude, you know what it reminded me of?
It's like Iron Man.
Yeah, from the Avengers movies. Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, but instead of like a cool holographic display on his face or whatever, it was like the tunnel wall from Willy Wonka. Like,
yeah, it was super weird. Yeah, she tells him that she's on the ship that he's attacking. So, the brother kindly stops the drones. Apparently, the Romulans had lied to him and said that he was the last surviving Aenar. I don't know why that would make you want to work.
No,
with
that was
captors.
it. That's all it takes.
All my people are dead. I might as well go a murdering.
Yeah, I mean, I was a pacifist for so long. Now everyone's dead. Who's gonna notice when I don't pacify anymore?
I always had this itch to murder lots of people.
The only reason I didn't is because it'd be super uncouth for me to go home after murdering a bunch of people. Like,
he's just letting his hair down, committing war crimes. Garib has the drones destroy each other, which angers Captain Chad.
All right. So let me get this straight. All right.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker has total control over both drones.
Yeah.
Why does he keep missing?
I don't understand why he didn't just run them into each other.
To blow one of his own drones up because he kept missing it with the other drone.
Listen, it takes a lot of concentration.
Yeah, he's cracked out of his head right now. He's just too jittery.
He's all hopped up on stims that the Romulans gave him. Just too much. Captain Chad throws a temper tantrum and shoots him in the neck with a phaser.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought it was some sort of injectable.
No, there's some burn.
I was wondering what left the burns because I was like, I don't think he's gonna pull through. Shit. Yeah. Jamel can sense her brother dying through their telepathic link. To his credit, the Romulan scientist is very displeased by Chad's behavior here. Shran and Jamel hug it out in sickbay once everything's done and over, and then Archer sees Shran and Jamel off of Enterprise. On the way out, Jamel thanks him for giving her one last chance to speak with her brother before he died. Shran says he's sorry for how things have been between him and Archer lately, but says he'll see him around.
So they won't see him for a while because they don't give people ships or lose theirs.
Yeah.
Shran's like, they're not going to give me another ship, so I'm going to just go back and have sex with this Aenar a bunch. So I'll see you around.
Yeah. Yeah, once he gets it out of his system, maybe he'll catch him. Trip visits Archer in his quarters after everybody's left. Trip is upset with how his emotions about T'Pol are interfering with his work on Enterprise and then asks for a transfer to Columbia. He, however, refuses to give Archer a straight reason as to why he's making the request.
Why can't he share that? I don't understand.
It's funny because
it's not like they're best friends or anything.
Right?
The funny thing is, he pulls the friend card with Archer, and then Archer pulls the friend card with him, and then Archer's just like, yeah, fine, I'll file for the transfer.
It was lame and cliche. It was a stupid scene.
Yeah, it was. It was dumb.
and neither of these people were acting very well in this particular.
Yeah. Yeah, an unfortunate way to end this week's episode. On a scale of 1 to 5, where 0 is threshold, what are you guys giving this one?
I feel like I started at a 3, but I don't know if there's enough good in this episode.
Join me in the mud, Chris. Join me in the mud.
It's a 2, I think.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
It's not. It wasn't good. There wasn't enough good to keep it at a 3 for me because just baseline, it was very generic plotline stuff.
Yeah, I also I gave it a 2 just straight out, and I'm like, because the only semi-okay-ish plot was really just the tail end of a plot we've already seen.
Right, exactly.
It just wasn't good. And the Aenar, I don't know, they're trying to make the Aenar seem like this fun alien race that we're going to learn about, but then, I don't know. We don't really learn anything other than just like, yeah, they are weird white people who live up in the hills that are blind. The blind paid absolutely no. And, I don't know. I also have this issue where, like, if you're going to tell me that a race is blind, fine. But, like, you're the ones who are making the sets, so shouldn't they reflect that? Why are there signs above a window in the blind people place?
They're telepathic signs.
Yeah, and like next to the door there was a sign, but it had a lot of raised symbols and stuff on it. So like, okay, that one works, I guess. Like, they can touch it and see what exam room 1 or whatever. But above the window there were these things that were clearly like warning signs or whatever. But it's like, bitch,
It's
they're
for
blind.
all the visitors they don't have. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, maybe it's for other people. I'm like, wait, what other people? And like, lot of windows. Like, the whole city is filled with windows.
Well, they can feel the telepathic energy coming. They're special telepathic windows that transfer telepathic. I don't know.
So I guess my point is they
D.
didn't even have some like kind of good world building with these Aenar. Like,
it was a bit half-assed.
So anyways, Rob, what are you thinking? 4, maybe even a 5?
Yeah, I gave it a 5. No, I wound up at a 3. I came at this from the opposite angle of what you guys were going for, I think. When I was taking all the notes, I was like, man, I feel like these notes don't reflect how I feel about the episode at the end of the day. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It just kind of felt like standard Trek to me. So, like, I don't think it was enough to knock it down to a 2 for me. I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think plotline wise, it's pretty standard Trek, but also I think it being the wrap up of a 3-part series really, I think, factors in for me because like the wrap up of a 3-part like episode should be more like this is just kind of like we're done.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
Like the first 2 episodes of this 3-episode arc, IMDb gave it a 5.
How?
That is weird.
I'm assuming so much on these that people are not like watching the episode and then going to IMDb and rating it. They are like reading through the episode lists and rating them based on their vague memories.
Maybe.
This one had Tran. Jeffrey Combs is 5 stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough to buoy it. Even despite his fantastic physical acting.
Oh shit.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a little break here, and we will be back for this week's deep dive. All right, welcome back, everybody. This week's deep dive is going to be on the Aenar.
Shred's diving deep on some Aenar.
There he is. Actually, I did find out something interesting about that.
Whoop.
We are going to find out more in the season finale, but the two of them do wind up having a kid together. And apparently she plays a part in the last episode.
Is that kid like sky blue?
Yes.
Ew, what? Ew. Oh, I was being silly.
So, like, I'm surprised you guys don't remember this.
Man, you give us so much credit for remembering shit about this dumb fuck show.
Yeah, her name is Talia. She winds up, she's not blind, but she's kind of like a mix of the two.
She's just really nearsighted.
Hold up. You said Talia. That is disturbingly close to his dead girlfriend's name.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you earlier, is it Talia or is it Talis? Because those are very close to each other.
Babe, I want to name her kid. I want to name her after the chick I was banging who died right before I met you. Yeah,
so anyway, is indeed diving deep into that Aenar. Interestingly, Shran refers to them at the beginning of the episode as ice dwellers, which is weird because they all live on an ice planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they live like in the ice.
Yeah, it's referred to as the northern wastes of Andoria. You know,
sounds like a
great
nice place.
Hospitable place you want to go living. They are seen so infrequently by the blue Andorians that they've taken on this like air of legend. They only number in a few thousand people at the time that this episode takes place. Physically very similar to their blue skin cousins. They have a couple different physiological differences. One, they've got like these little semicircle cutouts missing from their antennae, and they have a much paler hue to their skin. Some of them like are just straight up white. Others are like this icy blue color.
Oh, and they're all blind.
Yep, they are thought to be completely blind. They do have the ability to interpret their surroundings telepathically.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yep. And as is noted in Strange New Worlds with Hemmer, they have enhanced senses aside from their eyesight. So like their sense of sound, sense of smell is greater than that of your average Andorian. Their telepathy grants them the abilities of telepathic communication. They also have the ability to resist certain forms of mind control, and they have limited precognitive abilities. They are, as it turns out, genetically compatible with the standard blue Andorians that we're more familiar with, which we will find out later in this season. Almost all of the members of the subspecies live in that same underground ice compound that we saw up in the northern wastes, with a shielding field to hide their presence from their neighbors. Politically, they have no appointed leaders. However,
okay, hold on.
Uh-huh.
To hide them from like the Andorians?
Yep.
Okay, but like Shran knew where they were.
Yep.
It took him a total of 5 minutes to fall on his ass and find them.
I think it's like when they found the Syrup Knights on Vulcan. They had a general idea of where they were, but the shielding prevented them from knowing the exact location.
All right.
Yep. So yeah, they have no appointed leadership. However, in times of trouble, they have been known to appoint a speaker, which I guess kind of worked like a Roman dictator. As we saw tonight, they are strict pacifists, and they have laws against reading people's minds without their consent.
Very thoughtful.
Yep. And as I mentioned earlier, the only other Aenar we wind up meeting is Hemmer from Strange New Worlds, who's also a cool character. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fine, I guess.
Yeah. I like that he took her under his wing.
That is by, like, was it? I guess. Yeah, well, I guess it was. Never mind.
What?
I was trying to remember if that was actually Strange New Worlds or if that was still Discovery, but no, it was Strange New Worlds. It was like the first half season, right? Yeah. Yeah, then now he's dead as a doornail, just like everybody else that's cool in that show.
Freaking Gorn. So anyway, as Stanford mentioned, not a ton of information available on the Aenar. So yeah, relatively short deep dive this week, but that's okay. Just gives us more time for Potpourri. So,
oh boy!
We'll be back after our break.
Welcome back. So, of course, today the true star of today's episode of Star Trek is a man by the name of, bring that up, Brian Thompson. Okay, do we know who Brian Thompson is?
He is not Jeffrey Combs.
No, he is Chad. Our 17-head, large mouth, cheekbone motherfucker. So this guy is a bit actor and has been since 1984. All right. Mm-hmm. So I thought it might be fun to play a little game where I'm going to read to you the 1 or 2 sentence summary of a movie or show he is in, and you have to tell me the title of that show.
Oh, these are ones we may have heard of.
Yeah, he has a lot. I am picking like the ones I know that there's like a chance either of you are familiar with. So like the first show he was in was a show called Hardcastle and McCormick. I've never fucking heard of that. So like I didn't pick that one. Okay.
Okay.
The way this is going to work is I'm going to read the sentence or two. You have to wait until I am done, and then it'll be first to the party with the title. Okay? If you interrupt me, you don't get the point. And the other person gets free reign to just think of it. All right?
Okay.
All right. First one. A cyborg assassin from the future attempts to find and kill a young woman who is destined to give birth to a warrior that will lead a resistance to save humankind from extinction.
Terminator?
That is correct. Chris got that one. Keep scores, by the way, please.
This is your job.
Yeah.
I'm clicking so many things.
Oh my god.
Wait, so is it not just TV shows? Is it also
No.
then?
It's movies and TV shows. In fact, it's going to be usually movies. I will let you know when it's a TV show. This next one will be a TV show, but I was going to let you know. All right.
Okay.
Next one is a TV show. All right.
Okay.
A lone crime fighter battles the forces of evil with the help of a virtually indestructible and artificially intelligent supercar.
Knight Rider?
Knight Rider?
Knight Rider is correct, Rob.
Yeah.
What?
Rob
I thought I said that first.
in my ears, Rob said Knight first.
Oh, I have Missouri handicap here apparently.
Well, I thought I said Terminator first, so
Rob says regular handicap, so like
I just have my horrible trivia capabilities.
I would tell you the things he was in these, but like it means nothing. In Terminator, he was Punk. In Knight Rider, he was Kurt, like in one episode. So like it's like complete bit roles.
Yeah.
All right, next one. 3 actors accept an invitation to a Mexican village to perform their on-screen bandit fighter roles, unaware that it is the real thing.
Three Amigos?
That is correct, Chris.
Oh, damn it.
I was like, that's like one of your
the
like
other week.
Yeah, I thought that's one like you've watched a number of times, haven't you?
Oh god, I love that movie. It's so
Yeah.
freaking funny.
Funny's a strong word.
Don't hate. It's classic. Steve Martin.
Oh man, I don't know if you're going to know
Martin
this
Short.
one, but we'll see. Grad student Eric Cord becomes infected with lycanthropy after his friend turns into a werewolf and attacks him. Now Eric and his girlfriend are after the monster that infected his friend, and a tough cowboy bounty hunter pursues Eric. This is a TV show.
Is it
Jesus.
supernatural?
It is not supernatural. It is from the late
Okay.
80s.
Oh.
It's a little more obscure, but it's also kind of an obvious title.
American Werewolf in London? Oh, that's a movie though, isn't it?
That is a movie. No, it is just werewolf.
Oh.
Seriously?
That is correct. Yeah. Just
How
werewolf.
generic could you be? Jesus.
All right. This is also a TV show. Set almost 100 years after Captain Kirk's 5-year mission, a new generation of Starfleet officers sets off in the USS Enterprise D on its own mission to go where no one has gone before.
Next
Deirdre-
Generation.
Ooh. I'm going to give it to Chris because he actually
God damn
said
it.
Next Generation, although neither of you technically got the title correctly.
Yeah,
It is
close.
Star Trek The Next
Star
Generation.
Trek The Next Generation, but I will let
Yeah.
Chris have it.
Yeah.
That's
so stupid.
It is. This is so dumb. He was. Who was he in that? He was Second Officer Clag. I'm assuming
Oh,
a Klingon.
Klingon. That's got to be a Klingon, yeah.
It'd be funny if he played another Romulan.
All right. This is slightly more obscure. This is from 1991. The Adventures of the Man of Steel in his teenage years.
91.
Smallville?
Superman?
It is not Smallville.
Oh.
No,
It is-
Smallville
Yeah,
was
I was gonna
later
say Smallville.
90s.
It is not Superman.
Superboy?
Woman?
It is Superboy. Yes.
That's a show? Jesus.
Yeah.
It ran for 3 years, 88 to 91.
Jesus. Did he play Superboy?
Oh God, no. He was
Oh.
the Golem in one episode.
Oh.
All right, this one is a movie. With the help of long presumed dead Captain Kirk, Captain Picard must stop
Oh
a
my
deranged
God.
scientist willing to murder on a planetary scale in order to enter a space matrix.
Star
Generation?
Trek Generations.
I'm going to give it to Rob because he did get the full title that time.
Come on.
Yes, he was a Klingon helm. All right, this is another
Was he the
TV
same
show.
character he was in TNG?
No, I don't think so, because that was Clag, and this is just Helm.
Oh, okay. Unnamed.
All right, here we go. Now that we're fully aware of all the rules, this is a TV show. In the vicinity of the liberated planet of Bajor, the Federation space station Deep Space Nine guards the
Oh my
opening of a
God.
stable wormhole to the far side of the galaxy.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, Chris got it.
I was too busy laughing.
The answer was in the goddamn question.
Oh, it's so good. All right, here's a movie. 1996. Okay. The last dragon and a disillusioned dragon-slaying knight must unite to stop an evil king who was granted partial immortality.
Fuck, what is that called? Dragonheart.
That's correct. Good job.
I had no idea. I've never heard of that.
It's
man. My cousins
film,
were obsessed
actually.
with it. It is film. Good. Yeah.
It's got Sean Connery, which, like he hits women, but like the movie's good. All right, 1997 movie. A group of martial arts warriors only has 6 days to save Earth from an extra-dimensional invasion.
Big Trouble in Little China?
Nope.
Can you read it one more time?
A group of martial arts warriors only has 6 days to save the Earth from an extra-dimensional invasion.
Martial arts warriors. 6 martial arts. This is not ringing a bell at all.
You're going to be mad when you hear.
It's something dumb, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Wait, is it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There were 4 of them.
Yeah, as I say, that was the only reason I didn't guess that, because I'm like,
I was thinking like maybe
number.
It also includes like April and
Casey
Splinter.
Jones.
Casey Jones.
Oh,
yeah.
Casey Jones, yeah.
All right, I have no guesses, so.
Okay. This is the Mortal Kombat sequel, Annihilation.
Oh, come on.
I would have taken just Mortal Kombat.
That's silly. Wow.
Oh,
all right.
That's terrible.
Never watched it, so.
Oh, God, it was awful. I believe it was straight to DVD, too.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right, TV show. A young woman destined to slay vampires, demons, and other infernal creatures deals with her life fighting evil with the help of her friends.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That is correct.
Oh, Jesus.
He was the judge.
The judge.
All right. TV show. 2 FBI agents, Fox Mulder and the Believer and Dana Scully the Skeptic, investigate the strange and unexplained while hidden forces work to impede their efforts.
The X-Files.
Ooh, I'm going to have to give that one to Rob.
Why?
Because it is entitled properly The X-Files.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm like, I definitely said that before him that time.
Full title is The X-Files.
Really? I've never heard it referred to as The X-Files.
That is what it is called. It is The X-Files.
Silly. All right.
I have to thank Pedro at work. Then.
All right, what's our score looking like?
Got 5.
Oh, shit. I forgot I was supposed to be counting.
I think you have 4.
What did I have? I had Dragonheart.
The X-Files.
Generations, The X-Files.
I think you also have 4. I am also on that.
Oh, I had Knight Rider.
Yeah.
So that's 4. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
4.
then we will give that one to Chris because I believe that is 10 or 11 questions. Because we're going to start getting into stuff that's like, I guess I'll read the description to the Orville. Like,
he was on the Orville?
Yeah, he was Drogon in one episode. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just a bit
That's
actor
funny.
in so many fucking episodes of things.
That's so cool.
Oh, man. Him and his famous forehead.
7 head.
Dude, it's not even the forehead that does it. It's the jaw.
Yeah.
And, like, he's got this picture. His like, headshot is...
Two photos pushed together because they weren't big enough to fit all of his face on it.
You know, now that you say it like that...
She posted a screenshot of it.
I'm doing it. He looks like if John Cena had encephaly.
Oh, God. So much mouth.
There's a lot of mouth. So, all right. Well, so that'll do it for us today. Actually, not too long of an episode, probably because this, Star Trek episode was particularly bad. As we say at the top and the bottom, you can.
I would say it was bad. I would say it was very meh.
As we say at the top and the bottom, please tell your friends and loved ones about us. Go rate us and review us. Try to get us spread around a little bit. Give us 5-star reviews because we are 5-star people. And as we probably don't say enough, we love you very much, and we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
We sounded like the AOL.
I did. I heard it. As soon as I did it, I heard it. I'm like, that comes out of her. Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.